Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you may be. I am the Crypto Crow. Welcome. It is Saturday, and I typically don't do videos on weekends, but due to the fact that I've broken above 135,000 subscribers again, I feel like I got to keep this train moving. So, yeah, we're going to start doing content on weekends too. Let's just keep this thing going until 2026 and see what happens. But I've got some interesting stuff to discuss in the news about Cardano, and I've also got something personal that I'm going to share with you about a new injection that I've been taking. And I'm going to start with that right after this disclaimer.
If it's bull or bear, I don't care. It's quite a rough ride, just like life. But I'm kind of patient, 'cause only time will tell.
All right, so here we go. First thing I'm going to touch on, because many of you who have been watching me through the years since 2017, I'm 7 feet tall. I used to be in MMA for 6 years, and I think I fought in like 2011. That's how long it's been. And since then, I had a lot of issues with blood pressure, testosterone, all sorts of stuff. And I generally share a lot of this stuff fairly openly. And lately, when we moved to Puerto Rico for 6 months, I gained like 20 pounds, and it seemed like overnight. I mean, the food in Puerto Rico is ridiculous. Even fast food in Puerto Rico is better than pretty much anywhere in the States. I don't know why that is, but it's true. And I have been at about 305 for months and months and months. And I've been trying all sorts of different things in terms of diet and such to try and lower that. And, nothing has been working. And so my wife said, hey, we started going to this new medical office. I don't even know what you call it. It's not a clinic. It's basically it's like a health clinic. And we've redid all my blood work, changed everything. Now I'm on American testosterone instead of the Indian stuff that I guess I've been using for years and years and years. And there are a whole lot of supposed benefits to that, some of which I've noticed, and just changing a lot, like hormone therapy, all this stuff. I've been getting energy back, and things have been going well. And I started this new injection. It's a once a week injection called Semaglutide. Apparently they've been talking about it all over the radio, and I guess this stuff used to be like $1,500 a shot. Now, this isn't paid. I'm just sharing with you what I'm doing right now. And I'm going to open this up and show you. This is Semaglutide. And apparently they've been talking about it all over the radio because for whatever reason, the price of this stuff has gone down dramatically from like $1,500 a shot, which is a weekly shot, down to like $1,100 a year or something like that. And so, yeah, I mean, I'm already at 301. It's been 4 or 5 days. Okay. So I stepped on the scale for the first time this morning after basically seeing 305 for months. And my wife is saying this stuff has been working for everyone. One of the guys that works at the clinic has been taking it, and he's lost 90 pounds. So many people are basically swearing by this. And on top of that, typically if I have my coffee, this is the first thing I do. And this is typically what I have all morning until noon or later. And then I eat. And then when my hunger starts to kick in, I'm eating randomly until 2 in the morning. Okay. Which I know isn't good. And I've been changing that. And I'm sharing this with a lot of you because I'm giving it some time, because quite frankly, if this stuff works the way it's talked about, and so far it may be, then this may very well be something good for each and every one of you, or many of you. I don't know. I'm not a doctor. Talk to your doctor. Talk to whoever handles your stuff. But the way this stuff works is ultimately Semaglutide is a medicine used for weight loss in specific patients and to lower blood sugar levels and reduce the risk of major cardiovascular events such as heart attack or stroke in type 2 diabetes patients. Now, I don't have type 2 diabetes, but I forget what it's called. But basically what I've noticed is if I eat a lot of breads or like bagels or things like that with sugar and things, I crash hard to the point where I start shaking. And this has been affecting me for years, and it's not diabetes. It's something about insulin. I don't remember what it's called. I actually saw a TikTok about it recently. And then I feel like I have to binge eat just to make the shakes and the weirdness go away. And basically it has something to do with your insulin levels dropping, and a whole other bunch of stuff. And I won't get into all of that. But anyway, this not only plays a role in making you feel more satiated and less hungry, but also it basically like it makes you metabolize food much slower, so that when you do eat, you're not hungry again for a longer period of time. And overall, it seems to regulate a lot of things so that you're not having a lot of these issues. All I'm going to say is after months and months of being at 305, no matter what I do, I just had my first shot less than a week ago, and I just weighed myself this morning at 301, and I about lost it. So, if this stuff works, which it seems it may already be, I felt like I had to share it with you guys and give you something else to look at if you might be having some similar issues. And so, yeah, just look it up and start reading. So hopefully this helps you. Moving on to the news. Cardano's commercial arm unveils plan to launch fiat-backed stablecoin pegged to the US dollar, which that might be a little scary given where things are right now. But yeah, so the commercial branch of Cardano is revealing plans to launch a new fiat-backed crypto asset pegged to the US dollar. This is a pretty big deal, really. In a new announcement, Emergo says that it is gearing up to launch USDA, the first ever USD-backed stablecoin for the Cardano ecosystem, early next year. So we're talking 2023. According to Emergo, the stablecoin was created to shield investors and Web3 firms from volatility within the crypto markets by combining the endearing stability of the US dollar with the high security, low fees, and eco-friendliness of the ADA blockchain. The company also says the crypto asset is guaranteed to be backed 1-to-1 and is fully in line with current regulations, noting that the product aims to bridge the gap between traditional finance and decentralized finance. Emergo has partnered with a regulated financial services company based in the United States to custody cash deposits, assuring the stablecoin is fully compliant and adheres to regulatory guidelines. I'd like to know who that company is, actually. I'm going to make one guess. I could be completely off, and I doubt I'm right. But the only one I would think of is maybe Prime Trust if they do this. Prime Trust, and I'm totally speculating here, 100%. I have absolutely no idea. Nobody's told me anything. It's just that came to mind. Prime Trust is the let's just call them a solution provider for when I was working on launching an exchange and decided against it. And then Binance, when Binance launched Binance.us, they went through Prime Trust because it's a nationally chartered US bank. There's a lot of stuff associated with them, but they basically help with things like this. And it's also who Celsius Network originally started working with before Prime Trust pulled out like 2 years ago and never really explained why. So that's an interesting case. But anyway, yeah, so we'll see. I don't know if they're ever going to announce this. I hopefully I'm not blowing any whistle on anything because I really have no idea. But that's just what name came to me. And I thought, well, if that's the case, then I mean, they have a pretty good reputation so far. So that looks good. Backed by real world assets, USDA provides strong long-term price stability that may eventually lead to unlocking more reliable financial services to the Cardano system, the ecosystem. So yeah, that looks good. Interesting to see what comes of that and who is involved. I'm sure they'll probably announce all of that stuff closer to launch time in 2023. Cardano, the hot swap function and its impact on the future of ADA. Cardano has continued its effort to improve transactions via its network with ongoing upgrades that we all know and love. Despite some advancement, its development activity tanked as ADA faced consolidation considering its current sentiment. According to Cardano's weekly development update on November 18th, which I need to go take a look at that, there was an advancement in its hot swap feature. For context, the hot swap functions as its framework for peer-to-peer adoption. The Cardano team, while updating the community on its efforts, noted that the framework was crucial for testing its components. In addition, there were efforts to integrate serialization schemes to ease transactions on the network. Oh, good, here it is. Furthermore, the weekly development report showed that Cardano was working towards its payment light paper as the total number of transactions on the chain hit 54.6 million. That's pretty good for a ghost chain, isn't it? I would say 54.6 million transactions on chain. That's pretty awesome for a ghost chain. By the way, how's Solana doing? I don't know. I haven't been keeping up anymore. I kind of gave up after. I'm kidding, sort of. Weekly development report. New versioning of CBOR serialization in progress. Ongoing work on Lace desktop development, which they need to hurry up. No, don't hurry up. Make sure it's right. Do it in Cardano's form. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the Lace wallet. Plutus continues progressing on SE, CP, Marconi, and multi-scenario testing framework. Hydra for payments light paper released. So listen, just based off of the first article that I read and what I'm seeing in these development highlights, what are you seeing? Because what I'm seeing is I have a nicotine patch, little pouch in, and it's giving me the hiccups. Sorry. I'm seeing a lot of connection here for basically the introduction of an entirely new framework for transactions, for financial transactions, and there's some other stuff coming. And I'm like, boy, you put all this together. This is a pretty big deal that I don't think anybody's really talked about. But meet Project Catalyst team at the Cardano Summit. Is Cardano socially deficient after all? Despite the ongoing efforts to reach developmental landmarks, ADA's social metrics witnessed little gain. According to Sentiment, the token's social volume had decreased to 33 as of November 18th. Despite surging to 293 on November 17th, the metrics indicated that ADA had rarely been mentioned on social platforms, which likely has caused its declining interest. You know why? Because it's not a shit show. And that's what's being talked about all over the place. Everybody's talking about Solana going to zero, FTX going to zero. That everybody's buzzing about the train wrecks happening right now. They're not buzzing about the good that's going on in the space because that's not as exciting or interesting yet. So yeah, this doesn't shock me at all. And it doesn't really tell me anything other than like, there is nothing to talk about in Cardano outside of development milestones. So, yeah, I mean, why do you think the news is always so negative and has been for decades? That's what gets the views and gets the discussion going. Everybody likes to point the finger and judge. And yeah, there really isn't anything with Cardano that somebody could really point the finger at with any real merit right now. So, additionally, its social dominance was 0.535%, signifying a decrease in the search and discussion related to the asset. Hence, there was no hype surrounding ADA, with the possibility that the bottom was not in at 33 cents. And of course it's not. If you've watched any of the videos I've done this week, you'll understand that my perception, my personal opinion is that we could get down to like 14 cents. I know that there are many others out there who disagree, and they want to think that we're not going to go below 15.5 and that this is the new bottom and so forth and so on. But I guess we're just going to find out who's right. And maybe by the end of this year, maybe sometime in February of 2023, I'll do a collage video of all my calls, and we'll see who actually stood the test of time. Those people with 450,000 subscribers, full of hopium and pipe dreams, or little old me with my old graying beard. We'll find out. One might have expected the development activity to spike considering the progress underway. However, that was not the state of affairs. Santamit's data disclosed that the development activity on-chain was not improving. As of this writing, ADA's development activity had decreased to 67.19. This point meant that the ongoing upgrade was not at its peak and the milestones recorded were minimal. There's a lot of stuff happening. That's what's in it for traders. And the development also did not seem to spark significant interest among traders in the derivatives market. According to CoinGlass, ADA's funding rate across all exchanges had improved slightly. However, the recent increase was still negligible. This implied that futures and options traders had only dedicated a small portion of liquidity to potentially profit from Cardano. Listen, we're in a bear market, okay? That's just how this stuff goes. Cardano is down like everything else in the market. And quite frankly, it's not down as much as the majority of everything else in the market. So I would say we're faring pretty well. The fact that it's not the butt of a major meltdown, that it's not in any way related to or connected to any of the chaos going on in the crypto space, I'd say we're doing just fine. I think it's just the time to accumulate, average down, average in, and, place your bets. But I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just some idiot on the internet. So don't listen to me. I've only made, I don't know how many millionaires over the last 5 years. Crypto analysts who accurately called the 2022 Bitcoin crash sets new price targets for Bitcoin and Cardano. I need to start doing this. I think that because I see this a lot, and I definitely need to start doing this because I know you can basically get on some of these news sites with your own articles. I think I tried in the past and they kept rejecting it. I don't even remember why. It seemed nonsensical. But anyway, the widely followed crypto analyst who nailed this year's Bitcoin collapse says the king of crypto is likely on its way to new bear market lows. Well, finally somebody that's not spreading a bunch of hopium. The pseudonymous analyst Capo tells his 665,000 Twitter followers that he believes rallies in the crypto markets are meant to trap bulls. I agree. This is market maker trading right here, which I'm going to have a full course on by someone I believe is one of the best in market maker trading. And she promised me she's going to give me a good 45-minute tutorial on doing this stuff for my master course I've been working on. You're definitely going to want to check that out. What I see, technicals looking bad, price below June's low, indicators bearish, funding reset. Same bull traps as always, but even weaker. People falling for them. Comments like, you're going to miss the train. Really? This is not over. Final capitulation is likely. Looking at Bitcoin, Capo believes that a drop to lower levels will happen in the near term. Good morning. Bitcoin to 12,000 to 14,000 is a matter of time. Altcoins much lower, 40 to 50% drop on average. The crypto strategist also shares that chart that supports his bearish thesis, showing that Bitcoin has flipped support at 17.6 into resistance. A chart is worth 1,000 words. And while charting, it obviously does have some merit, I also believe, like I've always said, and I've been saying for 5 years now, technical analysis is great for snipe trades and things like that, scalps and all of that. And to some degree, it's beneficial for support and resistance and the general picture of the market. But as we know, anything can change the dynamic of a technical analysis chart overnight. So you have to use them with a grain of salt. When the market basically flows and fluctuates in line with, general market, like sentiment, then yeah, TA is pretty solid. Because you've got a bunch of traders moving the market based off of what they see happening. But ultimately, you have to be careful using technical analysis, which is also one of the reasons why I found it so difficult, and I continue to find it difficult doing daily content in TA, because I do play with it and I do use technical analysis, but I also am very weary about sharing a lot of it because I think sometimes it can give a bad idea as to what's actually happening. And yeah, I don't know. I'm still really on the fence about it. Shifting his focus to smart contract protocol Cardano, Capo sets a price target in the range between 16 cents and 20 cents for the Ethereum rival. Interesting. So my call was 14 cents. And this gentleman with 650,000 Twitter followers is 2 cents off of my call. So we'll see. I don't know. Maybe he knows more than I do. At the time of writing, ADA is trading hands at 32 cents, suggesting an over 50% downside potential for Cardano. Okay, Cardano founder responds to Monero's backdoor allegation. This will be interesting. Look how young Charles looks in that photo. When was this taken? Yeah, I'm curious. In recent tweets, Cardano founder Charles Hoskinson responded to allegations from privacy-focused blockchain Monero about the newly launched Mightnight having a backdoor. Interesting. Okay. You know what's funny is I have 2 Maine Coon cats. My first cat, my orangish one, we've had for 4 years. His name is Cardano. Go figure. And our new baby, Maine Coon, who's pure black, she looks like a puma. She's already, like, her mother and father were both over 30 pounds. Okay. She is going to be ginormous. I don't even know how old she is. Maybe 6 months, 7 months old. And guess what her name is? Mightnight. So I just saw news about Mightnight on the Cardano blockchain, and I was like, holy cow. And I actually texted my wife and I was like, guess what this new protocol is called on Cardano? And she's like, no way. So yeah, we have Cardano and Mightnight, and yeah, she's like, our cats are going to rule the world is what she says. So in recent tweets, Cardano founder Charles Hoskinson responded to allegations from privacy-focused blockchain Monero about the newly launched Mightnight having a backdoor. IOHK Charles, please explain allegation of Monero about Cardano's backdoor. That was from Crypto Curious. On Friday, to the joy of its community, Cardano unveiled Mightnight, a zero-knowledge data protection-based sidechain, and its upcoming token, Dust. Should have just called it Dusk. Right? I mean, I don't know. As much as the Cardano community was excited, the Monero team took to Twitter to point out flaws in the system, one of which concerned a backdoor. A CoinDesk report quoted the Cardano founder as saying, the system will walk the line between preserving privacy and allowing regulators and auditors a backdoor into the system when permission is granted. In response to a user and also Monero's claims, Hoskinson answered, backdoor? We don't have a backdoor. He further added that the word backdoor was a misquote. Hoskinson explained what the Mightnight project was about. It's a confidentiality platform with a rich identity framework built in via Atala Prism. View keys are handled at the DApp level, not the protocol. You add involuntary disclosure as a feature for builders to use. The newly coined term backdoor became concerning in the wake of the FTX collapse, with founder Sam Bankman-Fried allegedly having a secret backdoor to transfer billions. According to reports, bespoke software was used to establish a backdoor in FTX books that were unearthed during the financial discovery process. According to its official website, Mightnight will be a data protection-based blockchain that safeguards sensitive commercial and personal data while preserving fundamental freedoms of association, commerce, and expression. Additionally, it will make it possible for programmers to create and launch data protection-first dApps fast using a variety of programming languages, starting with TypeScript, and it will let businesses communicate mission-critical information without worrying about leaks or censorship. Individuals will also be able to safely share their private information. So yeah, that's something to keep an eye on and to look forward to as we continue to move forward with development on that. I'm interested in seeing more. Cardano to get its first US backed stablecoin by 2023, which we've already covered for the most part. This is just a different take. So that being said, there's a lot going on in the Cardano space. Obviously, we obviously still can't get away from Sam Bankman-Fried and the FTX contagion. Who's going to be next? What's going to be next? What do you think the next price low of Bitcoin's going to be? Where do you think Cardano is going to head? I'd love to see what your comments are, where you think we're heading. And for those of you that are watching this video, well, you know what? We're not live, so I don't need to show this again because there are no latecomers, right? So anyway, 25-minute video, not too shabby. It is Saturday. I will see you soon. And enjoy your weekend. Stay very safe. Have a good time. Be ready to come back to work on Monday. And I'll be here. I'll see you then. Crow your coins.